What's good, everyone? Welcome back for another session and showcase. Today I want to highlight a unit that's not really covered as much, but nevertheless I was quite curious as to the overall performance for these guys at 100% potential with max level links. So as you can see, these are pretty much the stats of my particular unit, and at 100% potential, again, is just curiosity of how these guys would perform. Really is ultimately why I wanted to test these guys out. And before I break into the stats, details, and whatnot, I definitely do want to shout out each and every one of you guys checking out the video right now. Over the course of the years, I certainly appreciate you guys sticking through and continue to check out the content. So definitely a shout out to you guys for that. Alright, so these guys, Super Strength type LR Beerus and Whis. Leader skill is going to be Super Strength type Ki +4, HP attack and defense increase of 100%. Extreme Strength types get Ki +2, HP attack and defense increase of 70%. And obviously with the LRs getting an easy A being a thing right now in Dokkan, eventually these guys will, and I will certainly cover a little bit of I would say a couple of holes with this unit that I've noticed, and potential improvements that I would like to see with the inevitable easy A at some point. But for the super attack currently for this unit, the 12 key will cause colossal damage to enemy and recover 7% HP. The 12 key super attack will cause mega-colossal damage to enemy and recovers 12% HP, so it does have an HP recovery function built into the super attacks, which obviously can help to a certain degree. And then for the passive skill, it's an attack increase of 80%, attack and defense increase of 60% for 5 turns after receiving an attack. In terms of links, at max level links, you're looking at Godly Power, that's attack increase of 15%, chance of performing a critical hit plus 5%. Prodigies will be attack increase of 15%. The Innocence is also attack increase of 15%. Connoisseur recovers 7% HP and defense increases 7%. Shocking Speed is Ki +2, defense +5%. Fierce Battle is attack increase of 20%. And then Legendary Power, of course, is attack increase of 15% when performing a super attack. In terms of categories, quite a few. Realm of Gods, Movie Bosses, Joined Forces, Siblings Bond, Bond of Master and Disciple, and then Space Traveling Warriors. I think for the most part for this showcase, it was, I would say Realm of Gods, maybe some of the stuff from Siblings Bond, or Bond of Master and Disciple. Like I said, I can't remember. It's been recorded several months ago, so I can't remember the exact team builds, but we'll talk about that here shortly. Overall stats, HP is 21,688, attack is 19,825, defense is 15,850, 12 key multiplier is 150%, and then 24 key multiplier is 200%. And then just trivial information, these guys released on April 17th of 2018 on JP, and then August 17th of 2018 on the global side. So again, it's been several years already since these guys came out, and the biggest holes that I've noticed for this unit currently, from what I tested at least, and maybe this is just opinion based and maybe I just messed up the team building or whatever, but the first thing that stands out for me is this unit does come across key issues of making sure you get that 18 key super attack. I've noticed when testing, depending on the rotation, I've noticed a couple times that the unit did struggle to get that 12 key super attack. So I guess it really just depends on how you build the team. But I kind of went throughout the showcase here pairing the LR version up with the physical Beerus, just to kind of activate as many link skills as I can. And I think due to that, and even have a supporting floater on rotation, and in some cases the unit definitely did struggle with key. So again, like I was saying earlier, hopefully with the potential easy A, they do kind of address that. Maybe a built-in passive skill addition where the unit's able to build up key maybe based on a certain condition or whatever the case is. The second thing that I think calls out is the restriction, right? Of you really do have to get, you really have to receive an attack in order to really fully take advantage of this guy's, attack and defense buff of 60%. Now it'll activate for 5 turns, but at the same time, it's kind of like, you're kind of forced into a first slot position for this unit in order to really get the output that you're looking for this unit. Defense-wise, that 60% applied, they're pretty decent. Nowhere close to, you know, some of the other units recently, but I think they're okay in terms of a defensive standpoint. But their attack is definitely pretty good once you fully build them up and, you know, activate all the passives and make sure you have a good set of link skills active and also have a supporting floater on rotation. The output's certainly impressive for these guys, but again, two big holes for me is literally key issues in some cases, and also the fact that you do have to force them into the first slot position. And even with that being said, you got to make sure the enemy's, you know, attacking before you in order to make sure you activate the secondary passive. So those are really the two big things that call out for me after testing. Now, you can mitigate a lot of that, honestly, but just, you know, it'll make it easier, right, with the improvement there. And I think this was probably recorded even before the same name label update into the game. So honestly, I could have thrown in the STR EZA Beerus as well, you know, to get that extra boost with the you know, passive skill for, well, actually, you know what, now that I think about it, I don't think it matters because these guys aren't part of the rivals category, and that's you know, the really bad thing about the STR Beerus, right? Because it's a supporting passive for the rivals category, or worthy rivals, but these guys aren't on it, so they wouldn't have benefited anyway. So I take that back; it wouldn't have mattered. So I guess it all worked out at the end. But, you know, honestly, at the end of the day, these guys will eventually get an EZA. It's going to be a while, but eventually when they do, I hope that, you know, the improvements that I mentioned earlier do get addressed, because it'll make things a lot easier from just, you know, management of each of the rotations. I think it'll be a little bit easier. I don't know, even something simply as extending the attack and defense buff to 6 turns instead of 5 would be nice, I think, in some regard. But either way, like at least an increase toward base defense along with the 80% toward attack would be pretty, I think, beneficial. I think it'll honestly make quite a big of a difference. So, you know, that's certainly something that I would like to see happen. In terms of like stuff outside of that, I don't think it's too. I don't think it's too outdated. I think, you know, more or less just addressing those two areas should make it much better in terms of like sustainability and self-sufficiency on a rotation. You know, so I think that's really what it comes down to. But overall, it's still a fun unit. I do like gimmicks built into the game where you do have to kind of, you know, set off certain conditions and criteria in order to fully, you know, activate the unit's potential. But, you know, it is a little bit frustrating when the link sets don't necessarily always work out to your favor, right? So I think that's one of the takeaways there is you know, I want a little bit more self-sufficiency for the unit to be able to perform the 12-key super attack on a more regular basis and a lot more easily, instead of, you know, sacrificing potential key distribution for other units in order to, you know, monopolize this guy's ability to get the 12-key super attack. So I think ultimately that's, for me, and again, this is just my opinion, but that's really what it comes down to for me. But otherwise, it's still a good unit, and it's a lot of fun, I think, especially given the, you know, the specific categories that you would want to run for this unit. And, you know, make sure you pair up the unit with, you know, other Beerus or Whis type units that certainly share a good mix of the links. I don't know necessarily, like, these guys paired up fully with the Topo unit, maybe potentially having Topo in the first slot, you know, get that additional attack boost with the super attack, and then maybe, you know, I don't know, like, the link sets should be okay, I guess, but I don't know. I still feel like, you know, pairing up with some of the Beerus units, and preferably the physical Dokkan Fest version, would probably be the best way to go about it, you know, and again, ultimately just comes down to key issues, I think, and, you know, once you can mitigate that, I guess it'd be all right. You know, what would be a fantastic additional option to tack onto this guy with the potential EZA is the ability to convert key into strength types, or, you know, something rainbow type, or whatever the case is. Just make it a little bit easier to acquire more key. And I think that's a recurrent theme for this unit, right? Is ultimately it's key, right? It doesn't really provide themselves with their own key boost with the passive. You know, I think, you know, those little things kind of add up to the big overall somewhat of a problem, I think, in my opinion. So that's really what it comes down to for me. I think from an overall like performance review of the unit, I think those are like the two big takeaways, right? Key and, you know, just restriction of being, you know, forced into the first slot in a lot of cases. So outside of that, I think it's still a very good unit, and yeah, we'll see what happens eventually. But for the time being, this is the 100% potential showcase for the LR Beerus Whis with level 10 link sets across the board. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Alright, peace out.